Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you all for joining us. What a great day in the city of Port St. Lucie and at the Port St. Lucie Police Department. One of my most favorite activities as the chief of police is to get to do promotions, and I see a lot of smiles in the audience. I don't get to talk to people who smile back at me very often either. So today, as we prepare to promote the future leaders of the Port St. Lucie Police Department, instead of providing personal words of encouragement from my own internal thought process, I'm going to paraphrase an article I recently read on Lexipol by one of the most esteemed risk managers in the country. I first had the pleasure to meet Mr. Gordon Graham when I was at the FBI Academy in 2004. Mr. Graham was a guest speaker, and he gave a very captivating seminar on risk management. Yes, you heard me right. A very captivating seminar on risk management. Mr. Graham's bio reads like this, and I did the condensed version. Gordon Graham is a 33-year veteran of the California law enforcement. His education as a risk manager and his experience as a practicing attorney, coupled with his extensive background in law enforcement, have allowed him to rapidly become recognized as a leading professional speaker in both private and public sector organizations with multiple areas of expertise. Gordon co-founded Lexipol, a company designed to standardize policy, procedure, and training in public safety operations. Today, most of law enforcement in California use Lexipol knowledge management system, and nearly half of the states in the United States are using this approach to law enforcement. This effort has greatly improved the safety of police personnel while also influencing the dramatic reduction in claims, settlements, and verdicts adverse to law enforcement agencies. And so Mr. Graham writes, I'd like to talk to my younger friends in law enforcement. We're counting on you to accomplish two very important tasks to find the right balance for us. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, stick with me and I'll explain. In the not too distant past, we valued officer safety so much that we often gave up on trying to build relationships. It wasn't really our fault, it was the way we were trained in the academy. It's what our field training officers emphasize. We were taught to develop a mindset that everyone in every situation was trying to cause us harm. Sometimes we would even develop a sense of paranoia, and that remains in the policing culture today in some places. Your first challenge is to help us figure out the right balance between officer safety and respectful kindness. Your second task is to show us what it looks like and teach us how to do it. We believe it's possible to build both relationships with the community members and demonstrate consistent and reasonable officer safety tactics. We're just still not entirely sure what that looks like and when the balance is right. We need you to help us figure it out. Your generation is very good at building and maintaining relationships. My generation is very good at planning, strategizing, coordinating events, and developing tactics. We need to find a balance between these two approaches, and we need to do it quickly. You are the people who can accomplish it. Consider this example. A police officer arrives at a vandalism call at a residence. The homeowner suspects someone has intentionally flooded their home, but the officer quickly determines that the cause of the flooding is a broken water line inside the home. No crime involved. Let's check on our decision-making process here. The officer has identified the issue, a broken water line. There's no instant preservation of life concern. Step 2, there is time to think, so the officer moves on to step 3. A broken water line inside a home is not a job for a police officer. Technically, the officer could leave the scene thinking, it's not my job. Why the heck would dispatch send me to this? But would it not be better for the involved officer to try and locate the valve and turn off the water? Notify the fire department to help drain the water of home? Is it possible that the city water department could help? Granted, the water line is inside the home and the involved pipe is the property of the homeowner and not the city. But perhaps the water department could provide some advice to the homeowner. Not to switch topics in the middle of this article, but if it was your mom or dad who was involved in this same problem in another city or another state, what would you want the involved police officer to do? This may be the only contact this homeowner has ever had with the city or the police department. I think the answer to the question is pretty obvious. You want the officer to do what he can, he or she to do what they can and help your mom or dad or the homeowner in this situation and really close the loop. Maybe it's a good idea if the involved officer went by the following day and checked up on them to make sure that everything had worked out the way they needed it to. Now, some of you may be thinking this is overkill. We don't have time to do this. This is not what the police department was designed for. It's not our issue. And why is Gordon Graham worried about this? Well, every contact made by every public safety employee is an opportunity to let our public know where the police department or the fire department or the 911 dispatcher that responds to their call is an involved employee, and if they can't handle it, they'll find somebody who can. And that, friends, is community policing. The bottom line of this article is, if you don't have jurisdiction on a given event and it's not your job, get the people who can handle it and follow through to make sure it gets handled. And that concludes Gordon's comments. I've gone out of my way today to share an example of the concept that I've operated on since I started here in PSL. And I intentionally went and found someone I respected and trusted and who guided me when I was a young leader. When police departments all over this country were under siege in the past couple of years, your community stood behind you. For those of you who are about to be promoted to sergeant, pause and reflect on what you want the department's relationship with this community to be when you're ready to retire. Formulate a plan which will ensure your vision of the future is communicated to those you lead. That's leadership. To our new lieutenants, you obviously excelled as first-line leaders, and you'll be taking on new responsibilities, ensuring that the aforementioned sergeant's visions fit the mission of the department. So as we proceed, I have all the confidence in the world in you, and I have very high expectations for the future of this organization. And now, let's make some promotions. Sgt Robert Fontaine, would you please join me? Robert Fontaine was born in New Haven, Connecticut on April 17th. His parents are Robert Sr. and Sharon, and he has two siblings, George and Michelle. Rob is married to his wife, Lisa, and together they have a daughter, Megan, and 5 grandchildren. Rob was inspired to become a police officer by his father, who is a retired detective lieutenant of 30 years from the New Haven Police Department. His guests today are the Ignelzi family. Good one. After high school, Rob held a position of field supervisor with a security company. He eventually decided to move to Florida, and he secured a position as a detention deputy with the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office in June of 1998. On February 7th, 2000, Rob was sworn in as a member of the Port St. Lucie Police Department. As he worked through the ranks of the police department, Rob realized the importance of obtaining an education, and within 3 years, Rob received his associate's and bachelor's degrees in criminal justice from Columbia Southern University and graduated from Columbia Southern University with his Master's of Public Administration on November 18th of 2021. Rob held several positions with the Port St. Lucie Police Department to include police officer, CID, SID detective, sergeant promotion in 2006, acting lieutenant, MPB sergeant, and detective sergeant in CID and SID. Throughout his tenure, Sergeant Fontaine has earned numerous letters of recognition and commendation. Additionally, he received the following awards: 2 POP awards, a Distinguished Achievement Award from 2000 to 2021, 6 commendation citations, 7 unit citations, the Chief's Merit Award, the City Certificate of Excellence, in the Senior Sergeant certification. Rob has shown that he is a true professional and very dedicated to his craft. He always rises to any challenge set forth in an upbeat and positive manner. Rob has shown himself as an authority figure in many areas of law enforcement, and I'm pleased to promote him to the rank of lieutenant today. Congratulations. Rob Sr., please join us. Wrong box. Yes, sir. So much harder with the body and the uniform.
Yeah. We didn't have it with my day.
There it goes.
I almost had it. There we go. Sorry for taking so long.
It's okay.
Take your time. There we go. That's good.
All right.
Switch you out here, buddy, real quick.
Some of it. You did some of it back.
I guess so.
Good. I'll put how Lieutenant Larson. Congratulations, Lieutenant. Let's do the pictures at the end. Sgt Joseph Orcas, would you please join me? Ready? Joseph was born in Waterbury, Connecticut on June 28th to his parents Pam and Joe. He's happily married to Meredith, and together they have two daughters, Laurel and Peyton, who are here today celebrating in his promotion. Before he was a member of our agency, Joe enlisted in the United States Marines and was honorably discharged in January of 1996 after 6 years of service at the rank of corporal. Additionally, he worked as an EMT for 2 years, and over 11 years in law enforcement in Connecticut. He is certified as an emergency medical technician and volunteered with the Red Cross as a first aid CPR instructor. Finally, on October 3rd, 2006, Joe was sworn in as an officer with the Port St. Lucie Police Department, honorably serving the residents of Port St. Lucie. Joe holds an associate's degree in liberal arts and a Bachelor of Science in Justice and Law Administration. During his time at the Port St. Lucie Police Department, Joe was assigned to various roles, which include police officer, UCI, field training officer, CID detective, promoted to sergeant in 2012. He's been a CID sergeant, an MPB sergeant, a member of, and appointed as supervisor of our crisis negotiation team, and finally a supervisor of the bike patrol unit. You can ride a bike.
You should see me in shorts.
Sgt Orcas has received numerous letters of recognition and commendation as well. He has received the following awards: 8 unit citations, a POP award, a commendation citation, the Distinguished Achievement Award from 2011 to 2021, the Chief Certificate of Appreciation, the Do Your Job Award, a civic citation, and the senior sergeant certification. As Joe worked in all the capacities of his positions, he has been a mentor to all and providing solid advice to those under his command. He's demonstrated outstanding leadership and dedication to the service of the Port St. Lucie Police Department, and therefore he is most deserving. I am very proud to promote him to lieutenant. Congratulations, Joe. Peyton? Acting Lieutenant Brian Kinney. Yeah, enjoy it, right?
tell. I was in my TV star. Congratulations.
Acting Lieutenant Brian Kinney was born on January 3rd on Long Island, New York, to his parents Kathy and Christopher and brother Chris. Brian is married to Christine, and together they have 3 daughters, Hannah, Rowan, and Reagan. Celebrating with Brian today is his mother Kathy, his wife Christine, and their daughters. After high school, Brian enrolled in college and majored in criminal justice, which assisted him in taking the entrance exam for the New York City Police Department. In 1989, Brian was sworn into the New York City Police Department, where he held assignments in various prestigious units. He left the NYPD after 14 and a half years of service and relocated to Florida in 2004. On February 2nd, 2004, Brian took the oath of office to become an officer with the Port St. Lucie Police Department. He excelled at every position he held, eagerly accepting new ancillary assignments before moving up to the rank of sergeant in 2014. During his tenure with the agency, Brian has been assigned as a field training officer, district support officer, uniform crime scene investigator, a member of the crisis negotiation team, and acted as the CNT unit assistant team leader, criminal investigations division, canine unit supervisor, and a member of the honor guard, as well as an FTO sergeant. He is currently holding the position of acting shift lieutenant in the Neighborhood Policing Bureau. Additionally, Brian received a Bachelor of Public Administration from Barry University on February 5th of 2018, and he is currently working towards a master's degree. Acting Lieutenant Kinney is a highly decorated law enforcement officer, as he has received numerous letters of appreciation and recognition. Along with his letters, he's also received the following awards: designation of Senior Sergeant in our Career Ladder program, 20 unit citations, 6 POP awards, a Thinker Award, the Co-Officer of the Second Quarter in 2007, Officer of the Year in 2007, Co-Officer of the Fourth Quarter of 2009, 4 Commendation Citations, a Civic Award, the City Certificate of Excellence, 3 Life-Saving Awards, another Thinker Award, the Distinguished Achievement Award in 2000, from 2000 through 2021, the Do Your Job Award, and the Chief Brian E. Ruther Manager of the First Quarter in 2020. Acting Lieutenant Kinney is a motivated, dedicated individual who is the kind of professional everyone needs on their staff. That is why I'm here today before his peers to promote Acting Lieutenant Kinney to the rank of lieutenant. Congratulations, Lieutenant. That's all right. Me too. Christine, would you like to do the honors? Now that we've created some sergeant openings, I think we need to promote some sergeants. Acting Sergeant Ian Harris, join me, please. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. Acting Sergeant Ian Harris was born in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I figured this one was going to be fun. His parents are James and Deborah, and he has one sister, Megan. He is married to Carrie and has 4 children, Riley, Brennan, Catherine, and Kevin. Celebrating with him today are his wife, Carrie, and family and friends. Ian began his law enforcement career at the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office as a detention deputy, where he worked for approximately 2 years. Ian was sworn into the Port St. Lucie Police Department on February 7th, 2000, where he quickly welcomed challenges to enhance his career. Ian is currently an acting sergeant at MPB. Prior to that assignment, he was a traffic officer and has held the ancillary assignments of traffic homicide investigator, field training officer, and uniform crime scene investigator. Ian earned his associate's degree in criminal justice from the Eastern Gateway College in June of 2021. Ian has received accolades from the citizens of Port St. Lucie, as well as receiving the following awards during his time with the Port St. Lucie Police Department. Officer of the Year, 2002. Officer of the Second Quarter, 2019. The POP Award. 18 unit citations. Distinguished Achievement Award for Safest City, 2011 through 2020. 5 commendation citations, a presidential citation, a Civic Award, and the Chief's Merit Award for the Hurricanes in 2004. Acting Sergeant Harris embodies a true leader and represents himself, as well as the agency, in a very positive light. He understands the importance of working as a team and always willing to assist those in need. As such, he has established himself as a leader amongst his peers, and I am honored to promote him to the rank of sergeant. Carrie?
Chief. Negative. Thank you, sir.
Y'all gotta find me a steak first.
Congratulations, Sergeant.
Thanks, Chief.
Acting Sergeant Robert Perkins. Robert was born on January 16th in Fort Pierce to his parents Kathy and Doug. He also has 3 brothers and 4 sisters. Robert is married to Amber, and they share 4 children, Adair, Colin, Noah, and Sophia. Joining Rob today are his daughter Sophia, as well as his son Noah, who will be pinning his badge. Rob was employed by the Fort Pierce Police Department for many years before being sworn in here at Port St. Lucie Police Department as an officer on August the 7th, 2012. Additionally, he also owned undercover skate shop in Fort Pierce for several years. While employed by the department, Rob began pursuing his college education, and in 2019, he obtained his associate's degree from IRSC, and this year, Rob earned his bachelor's degree in criminology from the University of Florida. Go Gators. Rob was assigned to various roles within our agency and has excelled in each assignment. These positions include police officer, SID and CID detective, and acting MPB sergeant, which is his current assignment. Acting Sergeant Perkins has received numerous letters of recognition and commendation, as well as he has received the following awards: 8 unit citations, Distinguished Achievement Award from 2013 to 2021, 6 Do Your Job Awards, Accommodation Citation, 2 Civic Awards, and a Detective of the Second Quarter in 2016. Rob always took hold of any opportunity that was put before him positively and enthusiastically. He learned how to be an exceptional leader by using his resources at senior sergeants. Rob has an extensive law enforcement knowledge, which makes him an outstanding officer, a detective, and a sergeant. It is my honor to promote him to the rank of sergeant.
First time for her.
Congratulations, Sergeant. Acting Sergeant Christopher Capozzi. Acting Sergeant Christopher Capozzi was born in Boca Raton, Florida, to his parents Donna and Kenneth, and has a sister, Christina. Chris is married to Brittany, and they have a daughter, Ella. Celebrating with him today are his wife, daughter, family, and friends. Chris obtained his Associate of Arts degree in Criminal Justice from Indian River State College in May of 2010, and his bachelor's degree in Criminal Justice from FAU in May of 2012. Chris was sworn as a law enforcement officer with the Port St. Lucie Police Department in September of 2014. He held the position as a police officer in the Neighborhood Policing Bureau until 2018. Chris then became reassigned as a property detective with the Criminal Investigations Division. Chris currently works as an acting sergeant in the Neighborhood Policing Bureau. Chris has received letters of appreciation and recognition from the residents he serves, as well as the following honors during his time with the Port St. Lucie Police Department. Detective of the Fourth Quarter for 2020, 5 unit citations, the Distinguished Achievement Award for Safest City 2015 to 2020, 4 Do Your Job Awards, and a Police Officer 1 certification. Acting Sergeant Capozzi has embraced his role in law enforcement and understands the importance of law and order. We are lucky to have him devote his life to our agency, and I am pleased to promote him to the rank of sergeant. Congratulations. Brittany and Ella.
I'm holding the baby. I wish you were. That's a cool moment. We try to practice a little. Thank you, sir.
Acting Sergeant Trisha Gittens Wards.
Thank you.
Acting Sergeant Trisha Gittens Wards was born on June 3rd in Port of Spain, Trinidad, to her parents Janice and Vernon. She has 3 siblings, Tanya, Tahira, who's also a police officer with us, and Vernon Jr. She migrated with her family to the United States when she was 10. Trisha is a proud mother of 2, Brooklyn and Bryce. Joining Trisha today is her parents, siblings, mother-in-law, Ronnie McRoy, Tulani, and Janae Honablu. Thank you. Yeah. Trisha received her bachelor's in criminal justice from A&M University, and she gained experience in law enforcement as she held the position of narcotics detective at the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office for several years. Additionally, while employed with the Sheriff's Office, she served in Homeland Security and Organized Crime Investigation Unit. On October 12, 2012, Trisha was sworn in as a police officer with the Port St. Lucie Police Department. Throughout her tenure with the agency, Trisha held the positions of patrol police officer and MPB, SID detective, and her current assignment as an acting MPB sergeant. Trisha has received letters of recognition and praise from the residents she humbly serves, as well as she has received the following notable awards: 2 life-saving awards, 9 unit citation, a Distinguished Achievement Award from 2013 to 2021. As a department member, Trisha has gained the reputation as a go-to officer, as she has served in law enforcement for many years. She displays a calm and rational demeanor in challenging situations while ensuring her zone partners and the citizens of Port St. Lucie are safe. Therefore, I'm very proud to promote you to the rank of sergeant. I know you'll make sound decisions and serve well. Thank you. Pinning her badge is her daughter, Brooklyn.
Man, she's ready. Get her sworn in.
And that concludes, no.
Carlos, you passed out.
Officer Carlos Waldron Jr., please join me.
You got him good. He was ready to pass out. Oh, man.
I couldn't resist.
You gotta stop laughing. Officer Carlos Waldron was born in Brooklyn, New York on June 13th. His parents are Sandra and Carlos Sr. He has 2 sisters, Tiffany and Charlotte. Carlos is married to Tahira, who is also a PSL police officer. Together, Carlos and Tahira have 2 children, Cadence and Callie Waldron. Gittens, I'm sorry. Yeah. Thank you for saving me. Carlos' guests are Carlos and Sandra Waldron, Tahira, Cadence, and Callie Waldron, as well as the Gittens family. In 2009, Carlos obtained a Bachelor of Arts degree in Criminal Justice and Psychology from the University of North Florida. Carlos started his law enforcement career as a police officer with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. Additionally, he worked as a registration and licensing analyst with Bank of America. On September 26, 2012, Carlos was sworn in at the PSL PD as a police officer. As Carlos has worked here at the Port St. Lucie Police Department, he has held the positions of patrol officer and MPB, special investigations detective, the ancillary assignments of UCI and FTO. During his tenure with the agency, Carlos has received letters of recognition and praise from the residents of Port St. Lucie. Additionally, he has received the following notable awards: 5 unit citations, 1 life-saving citation, accommodation citation, and a Distinguished Achievement Award from 2013 to 2021. Carlos is a seasoned member of the department and graciously accepts any challenge that's given to him. His loyalty and grace under pressure and character are vital attributes of a law enforcement officer and a leader. With that, he's worked hard in establishing a sound career within the department, and I'm very proud to promote him to the rank of sergeant. Congratulations. Tahira is going to pin his badge, and she knows how. all back up here. So could I have everyone that was promoted come back up, please? All right, first supervisor test. Let's see if they can organize themselves without leadership. Well done. So for our guest, we have one more technicality that we have to get through today, and it's really more of a tradition. The International Chiefs of Police came out with something called an Enforcement Oath of Honor. Now, when you're first sworn in, you take an oath of office, and this one's slightly different. And the idea here is in opportunities like this, when we swear officers in or we promote inside the organization, we want to pause and remember what the badge on our chest really stands for. So if you'll raise your right hands with me, and all sworn personnel join us. On my honor, I will never betray my badge, my integrity, my character, or the public trust. I will always have the courage to hold myself and others accountable for our actions. I will always uphold the Constitution, my community, and the agency I serve. I will. Thank you, gentlemen and lady, and congratulations. Get through. All right. Thank you all for joining us. Yeah, we do. I especially want to thank Mayor Shannon Martin for joining us, City Councilman Anthony Bana, and my boss, the City Manager, Russ Blackburn, and the Chief Assistant City Manager, Jesus Morejo. Thank you all for all of your support. We have refreshments over at the PD. Thank you.